And so when we're looking at candles and market things, patterns, we're doing technical analysis, right?
Yeah.
And the other kind is fundamental.
Yeah.
So what's the difference and why are we doing technical?
So technical analysis is about patterns. It's about movement in the market. And there's other technical indicators you can use, which are basically smart calculations that brokers and charting software do for you. So again, I'm not a maths head. I'm not super smart in that way, but I can spot that A, B, probably the next thing is going to be A and B again. That I can do. And that is really the foundations of technical analysis. Now, when you come to fundamental analysis, that's about what is if we're looking at stocks and shares, for example, what is the way that stock is performing because of leadership? What's their management style like? How much stock do they have? What's their profit to loss ratio? What's their earning potential? What's all of these
and
other
the new stuff, like
all the new stuff as well? Yeah. So we don't pay attention to the news, partly because it's very depressing, particularly at the moment. We don't need to look at that. So all of the testing that we do, and this is where Bloomberg featured us, is because all of our testing of all of our strategies is data driven. So we're looking purely at how is the chart, how is the market moving over 3 years, 5 years, 10 years. Some of our strategies we've tested for 20 years to make sure that they perform. How is that performance linked to the patterns, and then how can we trade that pattern in an ongoing way? So we are able to spend a lot less time doing our analysis because we use technical analysis. Now, the big boys, like the hedge funds and everything like that, they all use technical analysis as well, which is partly why it works. Because when the big boys move based upon technical patterns, we can see that move as well. So we're not trying to beat them, we're just trying to follow them. Now, people who are retail traders, so again, to define retail traders, they are people like you and me, who we're not trading other people's money, we're trading our own capital. There is people out there who think they can beat the banks when it comes to fundamental analysis. Let me tell you, they're paying many, many people over £50,000 a year to do this all day long, and you think you're going to be able to beat them. If you want to do that, feel free. But my community, we like 30 minutes a day, and that's it. So we're going to focus on technical analysis.
So the fundamental people are watching the news and trying to place bets based on that.
Yeah.
It sounds really risky.
Well, I wouldn't call it bets, I'd call it trades. So they're placing trades based upon all of that extra analysis. So they are reading newspapers, they're reading Financial Times, they're watching the news, they've probably got news alerts coming up on their phone. That's a surefire way to be depressed. They've got all of that stuff going on, and they're trying to factor global economics, global politics into their decision making. I just don't have time for that.
Yeah. And what about people listening who might be a bit worried about this whole technical analysis thing?
Yeah.
How technical is it?
So technical analysis is not that technical. It is pattern recognition, really. There's multiple components, but like riding a car, like driving a car. I mean, you could ride on top of a car as well, but like driving a car, there's lots of different moving parts, but they're actually all simple in and of themselves. The skill is bringing it all together, and that's why it's hard to learn overnight. But over the period of a few weeks, a few months, all the bits of the puzzle will start to slot in if you're learning how to apply it correctly. And that's where mentorship is so important, because we can make sure you're applying that knowledge correctly and you're connecting the right bits of it together.
Yeah, and I must say the support has been amazing. There's like 2-hour sessions to begin with.
Yeah.
Then there's weekly 1-hour sessions, like forever. Then there's Tuesday night sessions. There's the Discord community with everyone in it answering each other's questions,
which is 24/7.
So, it's really, really good, really good. Shall we get some feedback from one of our community? Because we asked anyone if they wanted to say anything, and you've got a voice note, haven't you?
Yes, so this is from the lovely Saffron. So let me turn this up. And
see
we'll
what
have a
Saffron has to say.
So I think I had 2 misconceptions. One, or 2 big ones. One was that it's for brain boxes and impossible to learn, and you need like years and years and years to even understand the markets. And the second one was that it's for douchebags, basically.
Love that. Yeah.
So it's not that difficult to learn once you've got the basics, and then you repeat it, and it's not for douchebags. No. One of the best bits of feedback I ever received from a student about star trading is they said there's no dickheads. Yeah, there's a lot of like bro culture, isn't there? When you think trading, you think like boys in hoodies on their laptops at 2 a.m.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people have that misconception that it's A, going to be full of those types of people, and we're very much not. And B, that, like Saffron said, that you have to be a bit of a brain box in order to understand all these movements and everything like that. And I think that's partly because people assume trading is all fundamental analysis, and people sat on the trading floor saying buy, sell, and it's not that. I do most of my trading in my dressing gown with a cup of coffee. So yeah, it's not that at all. And I think there is a lot of preconceptions that it's going to be that way.
I think it's going to grow massively, because if you think about the last 10-20 years, like trading back then, you probably couldn't do from your laptop, right?
It was very hard.
You'd be in a stock exchange maybe, or I don't know how they did it. But now anyone with a laptop can do it. Anyone sat at home can do your course. They can join a free Forex in 5 or masterclass and just dip into it and just go for it. So I think it's super accessible. And just grow your money.